Hello, welcome back. In this module, we are going to understand what is Microsoft Fabric, why it is important. Also, we will try to create a Microsoft Fabric account. So, let's get started. So, Microsoft Fabric is a new service, or you could consider it as a new platform. And if you consider any organization or most of the organization, we will have software development team and we will have backend team. Backend team will manage the data, and there might be different teams to handle the backend development. We might have data engineers or data storage team or data analytics. Data engineers, they will focus on the data integration or getting data from different source and integrating different data source. Then there might be a team for handling data storage. They will be focusing on the database development side or data warehouse side. Then there might be a data analytics team. They will be mainly focusing on analyzing our existing data. Or there might be data science. Or there might be data scientist also. They will also try to analyze our data or try to find out the existing data, insight from existing data. So we will have different types of team, and all this team will be using different tools and technologies. They might be using Azure environment or Google Cloud or AWS, or they might be using different tools like Alteryx or Informatica or Power BI. They might be using different tools and service and different platform for their day-to-day job. They might be using different tools and service. But Microsoft Fabric is an umbrella for all this kind of tools. You could consider Microsoft Fabric as an umbrella for all this kind of service. And inside Fabric, we will get option to create data engineering pipelines that help us to integrate data from different sources. Also, we have an option to store our data. So you could store your structured data or unstructured data using Microsoft Fabric. Or there are services that help us to store this kind of data. Then we have option to use Power BI. Power BI is a tool or a service that helps us to analyze our data, create reports and visualize our data. So Microsoft Fabric will act as an umbrella for all the existing service or some of the important data engineering service that are available from Microsoft side. On top of this, Microsoft introduced a new concept called One Lake that will act as a centralized storage for all this service. And we have another service called Purview that will help us to govern all this service or all this integration. So in short, Microsoft Fabric is an umbrella for some of the existing service or tools. And there we could find Data Factory. There we could find some of the service from Synapse, and we will have option to use Power BI. And for storage purpose, we will use One Lake that will act as a centralized storage, and we could use Purview for data governance. And these are the service integrated inside Microsoft Fabric. We have Data Factory and some of the service from Synapse. We have Synapse Data Engineering, Synapse Data Warehouse and Data Science. Also real-time analytics from Synapse feature available inside Fabric. And you could see Power BI is also there. So you could create reports using Power BI and you could visualize your data. And there are many other features also there. So once you create Fabric account, you could access all these features. Now we know what is Microsoft Fabric. Now let's create a Fabric account. So first we need to create a Microsoft account. And if you already have a Microsoft account, you could use that one. So let's create a Microsoft account. So just search create Microsoft account inside our Google. So just search for create Microsoft account. And click on the second link, create Microsoft account. So just select create Microsoft account. Now click on get a new email address and specify the email address. I'm going to use Outlook, but we have two options. I'm going to use Outlook. and just specify the email address. Let me specify Step2C Fabric. Now we need to specify a password. I'm going to specify a custom password and click on Next. Now we need to specify the name and click on Next. Let's specify the date of birth and click on Next. Now let's validate or clear this captcha. So click on Next and clear the verification. And submit. So verification is completed. And we created new Microsoft account. Click on confirm. So we just created a new Microsoft account. Now we need to create a Microsoft developer account. So we need to create a Microsoft developer account. So just search create Microsoft Fabric account. Create Microsoft Fabric account and click on the step-by-step guide to enable Microsoft Fabric. And this will guide us how to create a Microsoft Fabric account. So let's click on the step-by-step guide to enable Microsoft Fabric. And here you could see we need a Microsoft developer account. So let's click on create one account. Then we could enable Microsoft Fabric free trial. So let's click on the link and let's click on the second link and click on join now. And let's specify the region. And let's specify the company name. And language English. And accept the license and click on next. Now we need to enter some basic details. Let me select personal project and click on next. And let's select Power Platform. Click on save. That's it. We just created a developer account. Now we need to enable the Microsoft 365 E5 subscription. So normally it will ask you to configure, and if you couldn't see this pop-up, you could simply click on the setup E5 subscription. So you could see there is an option called setup E5 subscription, and we have two options: instant sandbox or configurable. I'm going to select instant sandbox, and this can be configured immediately. So let's select that one and select the region, and we need to specify admin username and password, and we should remember this username and password. We will be using this username and password to access our Fabric account. I'm going to specify Step2C, and let's specify a password, and you should enter minimum 15 character, and it should be very strong password. and just specify the same password and click on continue. Now we need to enter our phone number and we need to validate our phone number. So just select the country code and phone number, and they will send to you a test message, and from the test message you will get a code and you need to validate that code. So our subscription is ready now. Now if you open the same window, you could see our subscription is active. And if you want to see the details, you could click on go to subscription and just enter the password, and you could see the email address. Email address is different. It's Step2C and some random characters there, so you should remember this email address. We will be using this email address and password to log into Fabric. And action required, ask me later. I'm going to select ask me later, and let's click on yes. So you could see our subscription details here. Let's close this. Now if you go to Microsoft Fabric, or if you search for app.fabricmicrosoft.com, you could access Power BI. You could access Power BI. So just click on ask me later. But this window is look like Power BI. So we are still using Power BI and the Fabric is still not enabled. So we need to manually enable Fabric. Go to settings and select admin panel. So inside admin portal, you could see we have an option to enable Microsoft Fabric preview. Just select the first option and just deselect this and enable, and make sure you apply these settings. So once you click apply, it can take up to 15 minutes to get completed, or to get enabled it can take up to 15 minutes. After 10 to 15 minutes it will be enabled. So if you refresh, you could see the old window. Now let's go to Google and let's reopen Microsoft Fabric. So just search for Microsoft Fabric and click on the app or this link, app.fabricmicrosoft.com, and click on ask me later. And you could see we just enabled Microsoft Fabric inside our portal. And we are able to access all the features. So you could see we have Power BI, Data Factory and other Synapse related service. And earlier it was only a Power BI or portal with only Power BI related features. But once you enable, you could see, so in order to enable, you could go to admin portal and simply select the Microsoft Fabric preview and enable it and apply it. That's it. Now it's enabled, and if you go to the bottom, you could see we have an option to access all the features. So if you click on this icon, you could see we could access Power BI, Data Factory or other Synapse related service from here also. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.